Thief, scavenger, assassin, survivor, warrior, hero. Isaline is a protagonist in the Infinity Blade world, for whom the majority of her character arc occurs entirely within the novels Infinity Blade Awakening and Redemption. Despite being mortal, and therefore comparatively young, Isa's character evolves greatly throughout the series as her skills elevate to that of a true Deathless. Let's begin.
One of them, Cyrus. So, you're not dead then, I see.
What are you waiting for? Do it!
We're out of time, Cyrus. If we don't stop him now, for good, the world will burn for our failure.
Why? So you can forget again? Be reborn as someone else? So you can forget me?
We're just getting started. There are all sorts of things I want to know before you die.
Isa comes from a land called Avria, where she was a scavenger who made her way in the world by working for various Deathless. Bearing no allegiance to anyone but herself, Isa would do anything for profit. On a dangerous excursion, Isa was instructed to retrieve a ring of incarnate dark and bring it to a Deathless. This Deathless used the dark to absorb and destroy an entire village, killing many. Isa, whose conscience was hit, moved away from Avria and headed elsewhere. Infinity Blade Awakening introduces Isa as a cunning thief who attempts to kill Cyrus and steal the Infinity Blade from him. She is foreign to Lantimore and specializes in using stealth and her poisoned arrows to fight enemies instead of using the honorable Aegis forms that she had no knowledge of. Isa uses this technique on Cyrus, who would have died if not for his healing ring. After this, she swipes the Infinity Blade from him before losing it as he summons it back from her. The two fight their way out of the castle, and eventually, after some talk and comical attempts at a trade, decide to stick together. Isa and Cyrus have but one agreement. If he is to die, Isa may take the blade for herself. There is a deep mistrust in their relationship from its inception, as Isa suspects that he is Deathless since he uses their rings, while he believes that she seeks to betray him and take the blade. Both are right, in a way. One night, Isa creeps up on Cyrus and attempts to kill him, betraying her true nature. Cyrus, almost supernaturally, instinctively acts against her, and she is overpowered. However, he takes mercy on Isa and allows her to continue the journey, albeit bound and at her request. Cyrus continues his search for the Worker of Secrets, and Isa's knowledge of the land leads him to Sadie, a Deathless information dealer, not to mention a greater understanding of the world. On a meta note worth mentioning, Isa is a very important element of the world building for Infinity Blade. Several lines, such as the line about cities, and the misunderstanding of the Aegis forms, seem to imply that she was truly foreign to Cyrus's world, and furthered our understanding of exactly how much territory the God King had strict control of. Her role in expanding our and Cyrus' world begged larger questions too. How large was the world of Infinity Blade? How connected was the rest of it? How much power did the Deathless truly have? For as much information as Isa's story provides, she brings just as many, if not more, questions. Back to the central story, Cyrus goes to confront Sadie and gains his information, while Isa disappears into the background to watch everything unfold. When Cyrus ends up losing the Infinity Blade to the God King, Isa, now understanding the gravity of the situation, takes a gamble and acts on her mounting suspicion that Cyrus is Deathless. She spontaneously decides to kill Cyrus to stop his life from being permanently extinguished by the God King and the Infinity Blade. In the aftermath of the confrontation with the God King, she drags Cyrus' corpse to a rebirth chamber and watches his body reform for a period of weeks, quite traumatized by what had unfolded. Cyrus, likewise, is baffled as to how he is an immortal. They both believe he is descended from the Deathless in some way. Regardless, Cyrus decides to go to the Vault of Tears with the information Sadie granted him. It is unknown what exactly Isa does when Cyrus is at the vault, but we do know that as soon as Cyrus is trapped in the vault by the Worker, Isa makes it her mission to free him. For years, she pores over various books and archives, searching for a way to unlock the vault. Eventually, she discovers the secret and heads to Saranthia. Isa overpowers some Deathless to function as keys for the vault, freeing Cyrus and Raedriar. The world they return to is remarkably different from before. The Worker has infiltrated society by impersonating important Deathless with his soulless. Living conditions for humans are at an all-time low, and people are getting desperate. Over the past couple of years, Isa had formed a resistance to fight against this injustice. When she frees Cyrus, he's welcomed into the resistance as a leader. Along with another human, Lux, the resistance gains structure and resolve. To help the cause further, Raedriar comes into the rebellion after discovering that his lands and devoted are compromised. Raedriar brings with him the gift of immortality. Using a device called the Pinnacle of Sanctification, Raedriar's devoted, Eves, can turn any human into a Deathless. Isa, after much deliberation, decides to become Deathless to fight for the cause. She hates the idea of Deathless and abhors the idea of becoming one, but finds this is the best solution in an unfortunate situation. When the process is complete, Issa describes the feeling as complete ecstasy and a thrill for life that she'd never known. This transformation increases both her physical prowess and mental capacity, removing common botherments such as fatigue and soreness. This is what enhances her ability to fight, now being more evenly matched with the Deathless that she later faces. Shortly after she turns, the worker discovers their camp and bombs the Resistance, its stronghold, and Issa herself. This concludes Issa's story in Infinity Blade Redemption, as she dies and wakes up in Infinity Blade 3 to a very different environment. As Issa awakes, she is reborn at their new base of operations, known as the Hideout. The Resistance is completely gone, and Ragerar is missing. Cyrus returns with news that Ragerar has died. The weight of humanity's continued survival now weighs on the shoulders of these two individuals. Cyrus eventually retrieves a new Infinity weapon. Issa, having previously discovered hints of these types of weapons, travels to the Sekian Desert, where she finds a hidden chamber with slots for these Infinity weapons. Their new mission is to collect all these weapons, for they fear that more mortal killing blades will bring further mayhem upon the world. As Issa travels around the world, taking out various Deathless, capturing their weapons, she encounters dragons. These new beasts additionally contribute to the continuing destabilization of the world. The situation for humanity gets more dire by the minute. In the end, Issa and Cyrus manage to acquire all the Infinity weapons and slay the dragons. The true mission of the worker is revealed, as they discovered the Infinity weapons and dragons were nothing more than distractions for his ultimate mission, purifying the world in a wave of fire and reducing the surface to ash in a neonic cycle. They turn to his headquarters at the Ark, where they make battle to finally face him. As Cyrus approaches the worker, a soulless impersonation of Ragerar attempts to duel with Cyrus, furthering the distraction and allowing the worker to escape. Issa takes on Ragerar, allowing Cyrus to face the worker in a final battle. Both Issa and Cyrus win their fights in an epic fashion, saving the world. That's not the end of Issa's story, however. While the main foes are vanquished, the world still lacks stability. It has been revealed that when Cyrus redeemed the worker in Infinity Blade 3, he was reverted to an infancy stage. Issa and Cyrus decide to raise the worker as their own child, hopefully with new ideas and a more open mindset. However, much like Cyrus' dark self, their greatest enemy has the potential to rise once more. Issa and Cyrus will have to rebuild the world by improving conditions for humans, stopping rogue Deathless, and making sure nothing like the last 10,000 years ever happens again.